So how would you like to proceed?
It's proceed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Throughout that close, I was actually kind of pre-framing him to buy and just getting rid of any objections. So the way I did that was basically by saying the role of a closer is to help people come across their negative beliefs, their self-doubt. And the thing is, if they keep their money, they keep their problems. So that's something that you'd want to implement in your closing calls. So you do this well if, for example, you're selling a sales program, a marketing program as well. You'd even sell it well if you're a coach, even if you're a fitness coach.
Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
How you doing, brother? You okay?
Well, yourself?
Good. Yeah, alhamdulillah, bro. Doing good. Where are you at the moment?
At the moment, so I'm based in, I live in.
Okay.
However, at the moment, I've not been in for the past few weeks. I'm staying at hospital. Yeah, I had a little baby daughter.
MashaAllah.
3 months prematurely, so she's just going through the neonatal intensive care unit.
Mm-hmm.
Small minor infections and things like that. So she just needs to be monitored.
Okay.
Until her discharge date. So currently in one of the parent accommodations in the neonatal unit at hospital.
Allah make it easy.
Normally.
Allah make it easy.
I mean, that's life.
That's good to hear, man.
Ups and
MashaAllah.
downs.
Is that your first one then?
Yeah. First one, yes, first one.
MashaAllah.
Couldn't wait to get out. So.
You'll enjoy it, bro. You'll enjoy it, mashallah. Good. So, how long have you been living for? Is that all your life for?
No, we came to the UK in 2000, so I've been here 24th year, this is.
Okay,
I am
mashallah.
31 years old.
Same age, bro.
Are you 31?
Yeah, 31.
Oh, I didn't have you down as 31.
What did you have me down as?
I had you down as 35. I think it's the beard.
It's the maturity. It's the beard and the bold.
The maturity. Yes, our brethren from the subcontinent do age quicker than us East Africans, you know?
Yeah, true. Whereabouts are you from?
Somalia.
Somalia, mashallah.
Somalia,
Yeah.
Somalia.
Mashallah.
So you are Pakistani or Indian?
Pakistani. Yeah.
Pakistan. Okay.
Mashallah.
I got that right.
So, what brings you here then, bro?
First of all, I don't know how I first came across your profile or your content. And to be honest, I've been following your page and your content for, let's say, a good year now. A good year, although I don't know how I came across it. You reach a certain point in your life where things start to make sense about how the world works, how money works, how the system works. So in the past 2 years, I've been looking at ways of, increasing on my wealth. The usual process I've realized of, as you mentioned in your videos, school, college, university, job, it works against you. So a lot of times people mention a person should have a skill that they can monetize.
Yeah.
The work I do, I work in the pharma industry. You are a pharmacist. When you work in the pharmaceutical industry, is it a skill? When I think about it, it's more about something I've learned and I have to fit into the system where it needs to be applied, you know? So I've always had in the back of my mind, I don't have a skill. Let's just take something basic, sales, but people that they can do plumbing or they can do the sort of design and creativity and things like that. With farming, it's slightly different, so you can't monetize that yourself. But with sales, it's something that it is true, from what I've heard and from what I've seen. So when I came across your content, it piqued my interest. I've looked at other things, but in the back of my mind, I've always had this. The only nagging doubt I've always had is my personality a sales personality? You know, growing up, you have a perception of sales. Doorman knocking on your door, selling you something, but the world's changed now. There's an online world of sales, and the whole, as you know, the world is digital now. Everything is online. You get content creators that are 16, 17 years old making more than established professionals that have 2 degrees and PhDs. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
And if you look at the content that they're creating, sometimes it's just immediate content. It's not even intellectual content. So you need to be smart about how you generate money. So anyways, long story short, this is something I've been looking at, and it's not something that I want to do by, I have no sales background, so I know for a fact this is not something I can do by myself without any assistance. If I did that, you can imagine the number of errors and the time it would take to accomplish this. So number one, I'd be looking for a teacher, someone to learn off. Looking at the videos that you have on your platforms and the testimonials and the FAQs and all that information, it gives me confidence in what you're doing. Between me and you, also, you're a Muslim, you know. Sometimes, maybe it's wrong, but sometimes you feel more comfortable dealing with people that have the same ethical standards as yourself.
It's normal, human, yeah.
Well, it is human. Someone who's morally on the same page as you sometimes, that helps.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I have been following your page for some time. I think previously I spoke to, this would have been back in January, February time, one of your setters.
Yes, yeah.
Let me kind of pull the plug, should I say, right? I put the brakes on.
Okay.
For one reason or another.
What was the reason?
I overanalyze straight. I'm an over-analytical person.
Yeah.
Trying to get the answer to every question. Sometimes there is no answer to every question. Sometimes you just got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. You know what they say in business? Also, what I teach in my course. Don't look at it academically.
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking at it academic. You know?
Because business is very, very different. Yeah, business is very different. That's why you find a lot of the personality types that succeed in business are those who are not analytical thinkers. They're not over-analytical. They're people that just go and do. And they're normally extroverts. They're normally, good with people, etc. Right? So, having said that, though, anyone with any personality type can succeed. That's not like a barrier or anything. And just another question. You mentioned that your perception of sales, you don't know if you're kind of the one who would be good at sales. Tell me a bit more about why that is. Well, what do you think a good salesperson would have? And then,
Just going back to your last point about a person being deemed to be extroverted, having excellent people skills and having complete confidence in interacting with other people and conversations consistently flowing, whereas I'm the more observant type. But again, I might be harking back to my personality in the past, having entered the line of work about 7-8 years ago, being a working professional for that long now. My personality has evolved, so speaking and conversing with other people has become easier for me now. As you can perhaps tell now, this conversation,
can tell, man.
I'm thinking, is this guy really an introvert? But I'll tell you deep down, I'm an introvert. Being put in the world of work probably has changed me then, I think. So maybe I'm doubting myself too much, who knows?
That's something you work on as well. Yeah. Because a lot of people, like all of us, we have the potential to do amazing things in life, right? We can do whatever our mind creates, in terms of what we want to be doing, we can do it. But it's just our mind limits us, or society limits us, or the limited beliefs that we've had growing up. Maybe something our teachers said, maybe something our parents said, maybe something the work people said. And then that kind of just stops us, right? So within one of the modules that we have, it's all about mindset, because our mind is the prison. That's basically what it is. And what we have to do is unlock, keep getting unlocked. And unfortunately, in the education system, they don't really teach you much about this, right? Because they just want you to be workers, right? So you don't have to think for yourself. You just get paid paycheck at the end of the month. You do a bit of technical work. That's about it, right? But they don't want thinkers.
They don't even teach you how the paycheck works. They don't tell you what the national insurance, what it means, what the income tax is,
exactly,
pension contribution, any of that. As soon as you land your first job and you start asking questions, and you go to the lady in payroll and say, "What's this?" It's very strange.
That's right.
Very strange.
That's right. Tell me a bit about your job. What do you do exactly?
I'm a regulatory affairs manager.
I saw that and I was like, okay, what's that?
Interesting. We do work a lot with pharmacists. So regulatory affairs professionals, we are, should I say, we ensure compliance with the laws around medicines in a particular country.
Okay.
So if you have a pharmaceutical company, say, I don't know, let's take, If they wanted to get the drug, if they have a drug that's gone through clinical trials and they now want to get it approved in the UK, for example, they'd have to send an application to the MHRA to get the drug approved so that it can be commercially available in the country.
Okay.
It's the regulatory team that submits that application.
I see.
To get the marketing authorization in the country. And then also once you get that marketing authorization, you need to maintain it. So there's things that you need to do. So we're in charge of things such as the leaflet that's in the box and SMPC that you might know of as a pharmacist and things like that. So there's the various types of regulatory affairs. There's clinical trials regulatory affairs, there's post-marketing regulatory affairs, and there's regulatory affairs in between. Once the trials are finished and before you've marketed your product, there's an interim period where sometimes patients require drug, and I work in that interim period. It's called compassionate use and managed access programs. So yeah, we deal with the import, export, legal side of medicine, the regulations around medicines, and what is permitted and what isn't permitted, and what you need to have on your labels and things like that.
Okay.
It's the day-to-day.
And what's the career progression like within that?
Career progression is good. I mean, I've been doing regulatory for 7 years in the industry, 2 years as a medical information within regulatory affairs. I'm now a manager. I don't manage people, but it's just a title. Salary is good. I recently switched roles and that gave me a big hike in my salary. So the career progression is good. It's a stable career. People, once they enter regulatory affairs, tend to stay within regulatory affairs. That's what I've been told by other people. So it's a steady career. It's a good career. You'll make good money from it, but it's not. It's just standard good money, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
Enough to get by easily.
What are you on at the moment, salary-wise?
60.
Mashallah,
so I jumped
that's
from
good,
40
bro.
to 60 in a row.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. 31, 60k salary. Pretty good, bro.
Yeah.
What's the highest you can go?
And on the highest you can go to 120, 130, but that's when you're more of a associate director or
quite high.
vice president of regulatory affairs or the head of regulatory affairs. You're looking at about 120.
I see.
In that ballpark. I don't think more than that is something which is advertised normally. I've not heard of people earning more than that. But again, how would I know? I'm not in that bracket. A lot of times when people post jobs, they never post the salaries. They just post the job.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I think the main thing really is the salary of the job. So
Exactly.
People lie and say, I love this job, this, that. But at the end of the day, if it's not paying you well, you're going to be looking for something else, really and truly. So, yeah.
So, I mean, based on that, 60k, 31 years old, first kid, alhamdulillah. Why do you want to move?
Not move. I wouldn't even say move right now. Yeah. Why can't I do two at the same time? That's my question. That's what I'm thinking. Why wouldn't I do two at the same time initially?
Absolutely. So a lot of my students, they work their 9 to 5 and then they do this on the side, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours right after their work.
The other thing, Shrey, sorry, one more thing to mention. Because my job now is remote. I work remotely in this new role.
That's good. That's even better.
Yes, I've been here in this role 6 months. It's remote. It's good pay, and it's not as busy as my previous role. So yesterday, for example, working remotely from, I had one call that was about 30 minutes long or something like that. And the rest of the day, there was hardly any queries. There wasn't much to do. So there was, I'd say, at least 4 hours of my day where I wasn't doing anything. And if you think about it, I can fill that gap with other activities. So I don't see any issue with doing two at the same time based on my current schedule, personally speaking. I know my time quite well, so I don't see an issue.
Okay.
If one day it works out really well and you end up blitzing your current salary, then perhaps it's something you can take on full time. But in the interim period, I would be cautious and just do simultaneously.
Absolutely agree with you. That would make sense. Okay. So based on what you've said to me, I mean, how many calls do you take a day? And are these client calls or queries from people? Or?
On average, I've been here 6 months. On average, I have one call a day. I'd say maximum two on average.
Okay, so you're very good at speaking with people.
One a day on average. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clients, mixture of clients and internal colleagues. so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means there's no doubt with your speaking ability, your communication skills, and therefore your sales skills, right? Because all sales is communication. Now, if I was on the call with someone and they sounded hesitant and afraid, I would never buy from them, right? Just like anyone. But if they sound really confident, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy knows a lot. Then I'll be like, okay, you know what? I might learn from him, right? So it's just about how you communicate. So what we teach is we teach you how to drive buyer behavior through sales psychology, right? How to ask the right questions, right? How to allow that person to understand the value that you're trying to show them, right? How to speak with tonality, right? So you don't just sound like a robot on the call, right? How to use a script, all right? How to handle objections, all these types of things, right? That's what we teach you in terms of the sales skills. And what you get to do is you get to role play with the sales coaches as well, right? So when you're role playing, they're going to say, okay, look, don't say it like this, say it like this. Or don't ask that question, ask this question, right? So you're going to have all of that feedback for you. So in terms of sales, all I need someone to be is confident in speaking with other people. That's the main thing. Because I can't, teaching confidence is quite difficult. I've tried it before with lots of people, right? Even myself. You probably won't believe it, but I'm very introverted, right? So I didn't used to like getting on closing calls. I used to get scared. When someone gave me an objection, I used to get scared as well, right? It's just like I wasn't used to it. So, you develop that, but ideally I'd just like to work with people that already have a bit of confidence in them in terms of speaking, right? So you've already got that. So there's no doubt that you'd be good at sales. Now,
I see it as twofold in terms of the confidence. There's the natural confidence a person may have, and then also that added confidence whereby you need to be confident in what you're selling and your knowledge of product that you're selling.
Absolutely.
So that's something, whoever you're in a contract with, make sure you know their product well and what the benefits, etc. are. So but then you're talking about more the natural confidence as a person.
Exactly. Because everyone sells, right? So, for example, even when you're giving da'wah, you're trying to sell someone on the idea of Islam, right?
Yes.
When your kid will grow up, when they're trying to negotiate with you, they're very good negotiators, by the way. You're going to try and handle those objections. So
they'll keep close to me all the time.
Exactly. Even when you're speaking to your clients, you're trying to make them go on your line of thinking, right? So everyone closes all the time, but it's just here, it's a different level because money is involved. There's a transaction involved, right? And the main thing is people are scared of departing with money because a lot of us, we grow up with scarcity thinking, right? We grow up with, oh, there's not enough money to go around. I need to keep this money, right? But in reality, people who keep their money and don't invest, what happens? They keep their problems as well. So these are the issues as a closer you have to get over, right? In terms of firstly yourself and secondly with the prospect as well. So on the call, you're like a doctor, right? Because you're trying to find the symptoms of, okay, what's going on? What's the problem, right? Why are you on this call? Because everyone is on this call for a reason. They don't just come on the call for fun, right? Everyone respects their own time. So they're on the call because they want to make money, because they want financial freedom, because they're so frustrated. They see 16, 17-year-olds making 10K a month and they've worked 10 years and they're hardly making anything, right? These are the reasons as to why. And then what happens is you as a closer also you present your case. So you're like a lawyer, right? So, okay, this is how the program works. This is how you're going to get from A to B, right? And then also as a closer, you're a therapist, right? Because a lot of the times, it's not really the logical part of your closing that is the problem. It's their emotional thinking, them making decisions emotionally that keeps them stuck, right? So they're scared to invest. So, okay, I'm not going to invest. But in reality, the investment makes sense, right? To anyone else looking outside. But for them, they're like, oh, no, So this is basically what you do as a closer. You get over all of those things, right? And you're acting a bit of like a coach to the other person and you're showing them the possibilities and you're opening their mind to, okay, this is what can happen if you're actually on this, right? So what I wanted to go through with you, with your permission, is the stages of a high ticket sales rep, right? So these are the stages I have went through and I'm currently doing at the moment. So the first stage is basically you're a sales rep, right? So you're an appointment setter or you're a closer for an online high ticket education company, and you're making anywhere between 2K to 20K a month. That depends on your ambition. That depends on your drive. That depends on the companies you're working with. That depends on the ticket size of what you're selling, because obviously higher it is, more commission you can make. Lower it is, lower commission. It depends on the lead flow in that company, the marketing, how good they are. It also depends on your skill, right? So that's the first stage. And that stage, a lot of people stay there because it's a very comfortable stage. It's a stage whereby all you're doing is closing, texting people. That's all you're doing. Texting, calling people. That's all you're doing, right? So you can imagine yourself, we're on a call now. You're going to be taking like 5, 6 of these calls a day. That's literally what you're doing, right? So a lot of people become financially free there, right? A lot of people work their 9 to 5 and they do this at the same time, to stack up a whole load of money as well, right? The next stage is stage 2. Stage 2 is basically where now you've developed your sales skills. Now you've become a good sales rep, right? You know what to do. You know how to close properly. Within around 9 to 12 months of you doing so, you would have been with quite a few different businesses and you would understand the processes involved in sales, right? So leads, how to get that lead from someone who's just seen an ad to get them on the call. You're going to experience all of this. And what you can do is you can become something called a sales manager or growth consultant, right? So a sales manager is more specifically in sales, where they work within obviously the sales branch of the team, and then they recruit, train and manage sales reps. And the beauty of that is that this is an opportunity for you to earn passive income, right? And the reason why I say that is because when I used to do this, I used to hire like 3 to 4 closers. I used to close myself. I negotiated 20% commission with the business owner. So I used to get 20%. And then whenever the closers closed, and because I would manage and train them and teach them how to close because I was good, then what happened was that 10% would go to them and 10% would come to me. So even when I was sleeping, I wake up, oh, you look on your WhatsApp, I've got a deal. And you're like, okay, that's good. Right? Let's get some more deals now, right? So that's a really good way of making money. That, in terms of income for there, you're typically looking at 10 to 20K a month. Yeah. Or even higher, depending on how many clients you want. You can go up to 50, 60, 70K. Depends on the businesses you're working with and the ambition. And then stage 3 is like total freedom, right? And this is where you're doing what I'm doing. You're running a business, right? So you're running a coaching or consulting business. So over your 31 years of life, right, you've probably gained a lot of skills, right? So what you would be doing is you'd be teaching people those types of skills that you've learned, right? And it would be something that has to be transformational, right? It would be something that would help them in their life in one way or another. So what you do is you create your own coaching consulting business there. Or you'd probably be very interested in something based on you closing for different companies. So when you're closing, you'll be closing for a variety of companies. There might be some that you don't know much about and you go into there and you think, you know what, this industry is really good, like AI, for example. Or there might be some, for example, you may have been thinking in the past, you know what, I really want to start an Amazon FBA business, but you just didn't have the capital or the desire to start it back then. But now you close for an Amazon FBA business. You know exactly what goes on. They give you the course because you're a closer. You have to believe in the product, so they give you it. And now you can learn 2 skills at one time whilst getting paid as a closer, right? So you can even stack skills as well. But anyway, when you're going through that, then eventually you land upon a skill that, you know, I can teach this, or I can go into businesses and consult them on this, right? It's a valuable skill. And then you can start your own business. So when you start your own business, you delegate, you automate, and then you're not really having to spend much time, right? Obviously, in the first stages, there is a lot of time, but after that, you don't spend much time at all. So those are really the 3 stages, right, of evolution of a sales rep. So the whole reason I'm mentioning that to you is that this is a big industry. Yeah. This is soon to be $1 trillion in 2028. At the moment, it's around 400 billion, right? So it's always growing. Every single day, there's new course creators, content creators, consultants, high ticket creators, coaches, etc., agencies. And, you know, all of the time, what they're looking for are sales reps, right? Why are they looking for sales reps? Because they don't have the capacity to take the calls themselves because they're running the business, or they don't have the skill. And when they hire sales reps, it's just like a scaling thing, right? So if I'm the business owner, if I'm taking 5 calls because that's all I have time for, I'll hire a sales rep. They'll take 10 calls. I'll make more money. That's basically how it works, right? And then you hire a team and then they take 20 calls and then It's just scaling from there. So that's basically the outlook, the overview to how this industry is and what you can get in this industry and the career prospects involved as well. And a lot of my students, even though they've been in the industry for like 3 to 4 months, immediately they see the profit that can be made from this particular industry. So I've had some students who moved immediately to stage 3 because they already had a skill that they were good at. And they said, you know what? I see what you're doing in your business. I want to be a coach like you. Can you teach me how to do it? So then I teach them how to do that, right? So at different stages, different levels of learning, I teach them how to get through those stages as well, right? So I just wanted to make you aware of that. In terms of my questions, yeah, to be honest, that's it really. The only other question would be, what's the goal in terms of money that you're looking to make?
3 to 5 at the start, wasn't it? The comfortable position in terms of the setters and closers, was that 2 to 5?
Yeah,
so,
2 to 5K. Yeah.
With hard work, of course, that as well.
Yeah, even part-time you can make that as well.
Part-time, so because I would currently be continuing what I'm doing with doing this at the same time. So if this could be 3 to 5K in a month, I would be happy with that for now. Just start.
That's pretty good.
Very happy. Very happy. Not slightly happy, very happy, honestly. Let's be real. And then I'd reevaluate from there.
Yeah, no, that's completely fine. That's a sensible target as well. Because I mean, on average, from what I've seen on average, is around 6 to 12 months, and then people are making 3 to 5K. Usually what I would recommend though, and this depends again how quickly the person can get through the program, I'd recommend 1 to 2 months so that you learn the skills properly. And then another 1 to 2 months to find a role, right? Now, usually your first role, you're not going to make that much money. It's just going to be a tester. You're going to test your skills, etc. After that, though, once you start closing your first deals, etc., then naturally what happens is that your belief skyrockets. Okay, now I believe I can make money online because I've just done it, right? And then what's going to happen is that's going to turn into more results for you as well. Right. And then you're going to get more hungry, and then you're going to want to work with the best businesses. You're going to believe in yourself, and then you're going to make more money. That's basically how it works. Throughout all of that, obviously you're with us. We can help you as well. But yeah, that's everything for me. So you're looking at 3 to 5K. That can be achievable within 4 to 6 months, definitely. Depending on time, obviously you've got a newborn as well. You might delay it a little bit. That's completely fine. So it could take a bit longer as well. But generally speaking, what I find is that those who follow exactly what I say, they will land roles and they will make money. Those who kind of leave it, procrastinate, have a lot of self-doubt, fear, anxiety, all that stuff, I mean, they should be able to get over that within the first module, because I've revamped all the modules now. So the first module literally just attacks your mind, right? It makes you not have any more excuses, basically, right? And the reason how I came up with this was because I had a mentor who helped me with my coaching business. And like he could see my personality and what I was doing, since I was a bit lazy, right? And he would literally kick me every day, right? So he'd literally tell me, okay, look, bro, what are you doing? I thought you wanted to do this for your kids. He'd tell me those types of things. So what you have access to is a one-to-one personal coach. And the whole idea here is that coach will help you get through the program, but also get through anything that you're thinking that's kind of holding you back, right? So they're there to motivate you as well. And that's very, very big in this industry. There's a lot of people buy courses. 2% only are the ones who are successful. Why? Because most people, they just get in their own heads, right? And then they kind of stop themselves from doing it, right? It's all about the mindset. The tactics is like 20%, right? The tactics are nice and easy. You can easily follow them. Once you have the mindset and the hunger, you're okay with it. Yes. So that's basically all my questions. What question did you have? Because I know you've done quite a lot of research on this as well.
Yeah. One question. What would you recommend the starting point for someone in terms of being a setter or a closer? Can that come from them? Can they decide what they want to do, or would you advise on a particular path first?
So generally speaking, I would always advise someone to be a setter first. 1, because there are more opportunities for that for newbies, right? And 2, because there's less pressure on them when they're starting. Because when you're a closer, the pressure is you've got to close, right? Otherwise you're fired basically. So because this is a results business, right? So no one's just going to have you on if you're not making results. So that's why I work as a setter first, understand the industry, understand how it is closing, get on closers calls as well. So you can go on their Zoom calls while they're closing, understand how they close, listen to their call recordings, etc. That's what I would advise generally speaking. If someone has sales experience, they can move on to be a closer. If someone is a very good communicator, they can also move on to be a closer straight away, right? It depends on the opportunities that are out there. So generally speaking, a new closer would most likely be on an opportunity where they're selling something that's low ticket, so like 1,000, 2,000, right? But they're doing the volume. They're getting a lot of leads for that, and they're calling as many possible and trying to close as many as possible. Now, having said that though, I've had many people that have come onto the program. I've personally hired them as closers through, the sales team that I manage. When I need people, I look from the pool of students that I have, and they've never closed before in their life. And then they come on, I train them a bit, and then they close, right? Because closing is not actually that difficult, right? Because the person's already gone through a whole load of educational material beforehand, right? So they kind of already sold on it before they come on the call. So closing, you're just kind of going through their goals, their ambitions. You're going through the reality of how it works, right? You're building a rapport with them. And then you're showing them, like, this is the reality. Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to actually make a move in life, basically, right? So that's basically what you do. So what I'd recommend for you, if there is an opportunity where you can close low ticket, I think you'd be suited for that. Otherwise, even being a setter, completely fine as well, to understand how it all works.
And do you guys help people find the roles? Or for how long do you do that for, if you do it,
Yeah, so in terms of finding roles, we have a whole dedicated module for it. We call it Module 3, Networking and Job Hunting Secrets. So there's 3 modules. First one is Neurohacking Secrets. So this is all about the mind, as I mentioned. Second one is $1 Million Sales Secrets. Everything about sales, appointment setting, closing, objection handling, everything. Third one, Networking and Job Hunting Secrets. This is basically how to go from someone who has no experience in this industry, has no sales background, and how to actually find a role. Right. So there's a certain process involved in that. So you're going to have to create your own career portfolio. You're going to have to create your own personal branding. Right. We're not saying you have to be on video all the time like me, but it's simply just that when you're reaching out to these businesses through LinkedIn or Facebook or social media, they're going to look at your LinkedIn account, right? And if it looks like new, they're going to be skeptical, right? So you want it to be seen that, okay, you're a closer, you're a setter, you want it written on there, you want to write some posts about sales, etc. And then what you want to do is basically understand how to dominate interviews, right? So we teach you how to dominate interviews as well, right? And it's very simple, very simple. You just need the confidence to do it, right? Because even if you have zero experience, you can land roles, right? And we have this all the time in the program. Everyone lands roles, right? Even if they have zero experience. And it's because you're going on to the call and basically you're asking them the questions, right? So you're not treating it like a normal 9-to-5 type of interview, right? This is an interview whereby you are your own business. You're providing a sales service to another business. So for you to see if it's profitable, you're going to ask them the questions. And when you ask them the questions, you're going to look like you're in control. You're going to look like, okay, you know what you're talking about. Yeah. So if I go into a company, I say, okay, bro, so how many sales calls are you currently booking a day? Okay, what's the show rate? How many people show up? Okay, what's the close rate? How many people close? Okay, why is it so low at the moment? Okay, what is it that you're looking for help for at the moment? All of those types of things. Then they'll be like, okay, you know what? This guy, he's giving me some value with his answers as well, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to learn all of that. So it's not going to be too difficult to actually land a role. Also, we also give you, because you're going to be looking for opportunities online where there are thousands of companies, you can find them through social media. We teach you how to find them because it's always important to do so. But we also give you the fish as well, right? So we teach you how to fish and we give you the fish. So in terms of giving you the fish, what we do is that we have a spreadsheet with like 1,000 or 2,000 companies on there, right? And this is basically to help you save hours and hours trying to find all these companies, right? To network with. So you're going to add them on your network. You're going to speak to them using the systems that we have in terms of teaching you how to network. And then slowly, you're going to build up your pipeline of offers. So you're going to reach out to a business owner and you're just going to compliment them. You can say, thanks for the content you're producing. I look forward to the next piece, right? Without asking anything in return. So this is how you build a network. You're building like a friendship with them, right? And then slowly, after you constantly post on their posts. So let's say, for example, whenever I go on TikTok live, right? If I see the same people, I kind of know them. I have an affinity towards them. I like them. If they were to ask me something, I'd be more inclined to give them something, right? If it's just some random person says, bro, give me a job. Okay, I don't know you, right? So that's the mindset behind it. So that's what we teach you to do. So we give you that list. We also give you a list of recruiters, industry experts, and applications to fill out. So you get used to it immediately. And hopefully you get interviews quickly as well, so that you can practice your interviews. Hopefully you can get some roles through that process as well, right? So I've sourced all of these for you. I've taken hours trying to find all of these roles as well. Also, what I'm doing in the background is something not concrete yet. What I'm doing in the background, though, is I'm reaching out to many business owners who teach people how to become coaches and consultants in this industry. And obviously those coaches and consultants at some point in their growth, they're going to need setters and closers. So I'm developing relationships with those businesses and saying, when you need setters and closers, come to me. I've got them for you. Right. So then it would be a bit easier for people to get hired. Right. Also, I'm becoming sales manager for quite a few people as well as we speak. I've already got one guy that I've taken on. I've already hired 3 to 4 people from my batch of setters and closers. And even though they had no experience before, they've already started closing. Right. As in they've already started closing deals and making money. So this is what I'm looking to expand as well. So ideally, my business, the way I envision it, train setters and closers, then I hire setters and closers by working with other businesses. So that's what I'm looking to do. It's not there concrete yet, but it's an option. But the main thing is that you're going to be learning the skills of networking, because sales and networking are the 2 most important skills if you want to be an entrepreneur and start your own business in the future. Sales is all about, okay, how to sell yourself, how to make money. Network is all about, okay, how do I contact people? How do I get them to like me? How do I market my offer? How do I pitch them, etc.? So very, very important skills that you're going to be learning. So that's basically how we help you do that. And you're going to have a one-to-one coach. You're also going to have me that you can refer to if you have any questions throughout that process as well.
Yeah, so yes, you mentioned about a profile, and you actually mentioned LinkedIn. So is that one of the advices you give, that person sets up a LinkedIn profile? And in that case, it would be tailored to sales, of course, because someone like myself is complete opposite, has the farmer background. I have a LinkedIn profile now, but it's not sales.
So you can, the best way to do it is to use your existing profile, and then add sales on there, basically. So it looks like you're a real person. However, if there's
what I have now is really developed.
No, that's good then. That's good.
Yeah.
So, however, if there's a conflict with the people that you're working with, and if they see, what you're doing, etc., then you can start a new one. No problem.
Big situation there. Okay.
Yeah. And then even if they ask, you can say, well, I'm just going on some professional development courses. you can just twist it as that to improve my communication skills, right? To help this business move forward. There's many ways you can go about it. But it's not just LinkedIn. It's also Facebook. It's Instagram. And it also depends on what businesses you're reaching out to. So, for example, if you're reaching out to fitness coaches, they're not going to be on LinkedIn, right? They're going to be on Instagram because it's all about the visual type of social media. Right? If you're reaching out to consultants and business growth consultants, they're most likely going to be on LinkedIn. So that's when you need to make a LinkedIn profile. It depends on what kind of offers resonate with you, though.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any further questions, Shoaib. I read everything in the FAQs prior to the call. So all was good from that perspective. It wasn't mentioned, the price, but perhaps that's something that comes further down the line.
Yeah. The price was mentioned on the application.
I didn't fill in the application properly.
Okay, so the main thing, firstly, what I want to know from you is, do you think that you can make money from this opportunity? Does it make sense to you?
It makes sense to me. I totally have confidence that I'd make some money. Don't know how much, but I know for a fact I'd make some.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And is there anything keeping you from 100% certainty that, this program will help?
Anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Okay.
The way I'm weighing it up is, if I don't do it, I've lost out anyway.
I see.
If I don't proceed, I will never know whether I can do this or not. But at least if I try.
Yeah. True.
Because if you think it's been going on in my mind for a year, so it's it keeps coming up. Seeing your content all the time doesn't help.
Yeah,
you know, it's between a rock and a hard place. That's why I'm just telling myself now, just proceed with it. Talk on Allah and see where it goes. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, then alhamdulillah.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But when you come onto the program, you're going to find that it works out for anyone who just does the work. I'm telling you, like it literally works out very, very well. Obviously, you won't know that because you're not in the program. When you're in there and you see people, making money, etc., you're going to learn that. So yeah, in terms of the investment,
right, but at the end of the day, it's a skill.
It's a skill.
Big skill.
Yeah, it's very transferable as well. Yeah. Cool. I mean, at the end of the day, we have a guarantee as well, whereby if you don't land a role, we give you your money back, right, within 12 months. So the whole idea is you work with us, we work with you. You're going to land a role, you're going to make money, right? That's basically how confident I am that it's going to work. So, we've had like, even what was it, 2-3 days ago? I don't know if you saw my Instagram stories as well, but one of my students, he's 18 years old, right? And he's currently making 3K a month, and he's not even working full time, right? And for an 18-year-old, that's big money, bro. I wouldn't know what I'd do with that. We have 27-year-old. He was previously an engineer, and he makes around 4 to 5K a month, right? Just through setting, not even through closing. We have closers as well. There's some closers that have been with me for like 4 years. They're still closing, right? And he's making 10 to 15K a month. We have other closers just working on the weekends, making an extra 1,000 a month to help them with their whatever it is that they need for their job. You can always make money with this. You just need to be very good with the skills, right? And very good in finding roles as well. If you're good with those skills that we teach anyway, then you're going to be sorted, inshallah. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, cool. So in terms of the program, the investment, currently, I think you've been following us for a year anyway. You would have probably seen it was at £3,000 altogether, right? Now, however, because this is a launch of a newer version of the program, we've decreased it a bit, right, to make it a bit easier for people to come in. So it's £1,000 off. So altogether, it's £1,997 altogether.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So how would you like to proceed?
Good to proceed.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 ways to go about this. Either I can give you the link, you can fill out the details yourself in terms of the payment, or I can do it for you. Which one would you like?
Then send me the link.
Okay, that's fine. And when do you think you can process that by, so I know when to get everything ready for you?
Today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today or tomorrow.
Okay.
It shouldn't take me long.
That's fine. So I'm just going to process this for you now then. Once that's processed, do let me know. And then what's going to happen is we're going to give you access to the program, right? At the moment, because it's a new offer, the program is on 2 different platforms, right? So there's the old platform and the new platform. But the coach will explain exactly what to look out for anyway. But you're going to get all the new content anyway, so don't worry about that. And the next coaching call, actually we have a coaching call tonight. So if you were to do it today, you can come onto that coaching call. If not, no worries. But yeah, so let me send that to you and then we'll take it from there basically. I'll WhatsApp. Okay, so that's the link to process the payment. Once you've done that, just let me know and then we'll get started, inshallah. Yeah?
Inshallah.
All right, you excited to get started soon?
Very well. Yeah.
Already, yeah?
Already. And it's 1 to 2 months in terms of the content.
No, the content, to be honest, the content can be done quicker. Yeah. So if you've got like a lot of hours spare, you can get through it quite quickly. But ideally what we'd want to do, so you'd go through module 1. That will probably take like 9 hours altogether or something. And then module 2, that's quite content heavy because it's about sales. But ideally at module 2, straight after that, you'd want to start role playing, right? So that you can practice the skill as well. And then you'd want to move on to module 3, right? So it just depends how quickly you go through it. Yeah?
All right.
Okay. Any other questions before we go? Good to go.
No further questions.
All right, bro. It was a pleasure meeting you. Wish all the best for your daughter, inshallah. And enjoy your daughter and enjoy the course as well. Inshallah.
Take care, dude.
All right, take care, bro. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Alaikum salam.
Okay, so that's the result of the call. You just heard that it's closed and he's going to pay either today or tomorrow. So I'll let you know when that payment comes in. But throughout that close, if you were kind of listening attentively, what you would have heard is that I was actually kind of pre-framing him to buy. I'm just getting rid of any objections, right? So the way I did that was basically by saying, okay, look, so the role of a closer is to, help people come across their negative beliefs, their self-doubt, etc. Because a lot of people have self-doubt, they're scared to invest. So you can see when I said scared to invest, I'm just trying to get over those objections that, if you were to bring it up later on, they're scared to invest. And the thing is, if they keep their money, they keep their problem. So all of these things we're doing just to make sure that at the end, the only question would be, you know what, I don't think I can afford it. That's ideally the only question I want at the end of it. But then we can negotiate with payment plans, no problem. So that's something that you'd want to implement in your closing calls. So you do this well if, for example, you're selling a sales program. You do this well if you're selling even a marketing program as well. Anything to do with customers buying, anything in that process, this would be a really, really good thing to do. You'd even sell it well if you're a coach, even if you're a fitness coach. You can literally tell people that, hey, look, I get some people coming on the call, and this can be just during the natural conversation of the call. I get some people coming on the call, and a lot of people, unfortunately, even though they're massive and I can tell they're going to have health problems very, very soon, they don't pull the trigger because they're just too scared to invest. And that's not their fault. That's just conditioning that they've had. But the problem is, if they keep their money, they keep their problem. If they let go of their money and they give it to someone, then they can actually, get rid of their problem. So this is basically what I'm doing. You would have learned that throughout the call. Also throughout the call, a lot of rapport, a lot of trust being built. And this is really, really what helps, because if someone doesn't really trust you, you're not going to buy from them.